Welcome back to Disco, guys. So, we spoke to the dice maker in the last episode. We got a kind of idea of like this kind of what this curse is. We spoke to her about all the failed businesses that had been there. It was a nice, really nice little chat, and we of course got the body to in the fridge, in the big bear fridge. But the fridge is, I don't know if it's a bit unreliable, but that's where we've left it anyway. So we're going to go and try and talk to the smoker from the balcony now. That's our next quest. I'm going to keep Kimmy with us because this is police business. Maybe it would have been a good idea to send him off to bed. Let me just refresh my memory as to which apartment this is. Apartment 28. So we need to go up to the next floor, correct? Maybe need the torch out for this, but... Let's head to the balcony. We do have that thing about Kuno's dad, right? That's here as well. I might investigate that, but that might not be a great idea. I'll be spamming the quick save button. Not that that's ever really mattered. Hello. You hear distant traffic. Night is falling on the city. The maroon glow of light pollution rises from the east. Here he is. Of course, I've thought about quitting. But for what?
Gendarmerie, you found me.
The young man on the balcony gives you a bright smile before taking another drag from his cigarette.
It feels like a Friday. He seems to be in a good mood tonight.
Yeah, we got your hint. Found the key right under the stone.
Beautiful.
He replies, smiling. As he looks at you, something sparkles in his eyes.
So tell me, are you here to make things right again?
Again? That's what I'm aiming for, yeah. Honestly, I'm just trying to not screw anything up. I'm not going to make things right. I'm going to make them spectacular. I was hoping to talk to a possible witness. Your balcony overlooks the murder scene. I don't want to be too prickly with him. I'm not going to make things right. I'm going to make them spectacular.
Beautiful.
He says again. A nearby street lamp casts a shadow on his chin, drawing out the slender cheekbones.
I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight. I told him about you and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting.
He nods towards number 28. Is it Friday tonight? It feels like Friday. Why would I want to meet your friend? Is it Friday tonight? It feels like Friday.
Yeah, it does feel like the end of the week. Such gentle weather.
Then why would I want to meet him? What does he know?
Trust me, you do.
Very well. I'll talk to him, but first I want to talk to you. I've got a lot of questions.
That's nice, but I don't have anything to tell you. It's my friend you're looking for, not me.
No, that's fair enough.
He takes another drag of his unfiltered cigarette and looks around. It's getting dark and the neighboring windows have lit up one by one.
Uh-oh.
Downstairs, a cat crosses the yard, disappearing into the bush.
Besides, I've got to run.
He's going to leave you alone again. That's sad. Something tells you you're never going to talk to an individual this cool or mysterious ever again.
Go if you must. I don't care. I don't care about people leaving me all the time. I just found you again.
Just look at it. It's a beautiful night. Who's going to stay in on a night like this?
Gestures towards distant motorways, all leading to Golden La Delta. Only if you promise that we'll talk again, it's important.
Something flutters in the corner of the lieutenant's mouth as you're saying those words. It's laughter.
We'll talk. Just not tonight.
The smoker assures you, brushing his hand through the hair.
Take care, all right?
All right. I felt almost like a romantic encounter, right? Take care, all right, he says with another disarming smile before slipping off into the night. There's something so different about him, I just can't put my finger on it.
Different, of course.
His shirt. Why is his shirt always unbuttoned? He's such a good listener. I like talking to him. There's just something so mysterious about the way he talks and moves. He smells good. Why on earth does he smell so good? Yeah, he's just a bit mysterious.
Something so mysterious about the way he talks.
Oh, shut up, will you, Kimmy? For God's sake. Maybe I'll love him. Very mysterious.
Very.
He's barely holding it together. It's all he can do to keep from bursting out in laughter.
Come on, detective, let's go. We've got a potential witness to interview. His Sunday friend, remember?
He nods at the apartment door before you. Screw you, Kimmy. I should have left you back at the whirling in rags. Time sensitive. We've got 2 ability points, so I could pop one in something, but we should have perhaps some different clothes on. Physical instrument isn't too important to me. Let's get our sexy vest on. Interfacing or electrochem. I don't care about electrochem. Half-light. Our interfacing's at a 5 already. We need some better pants. That's what I needed to go and see Sealeng about, right? We'll keep this. I don't really... Empathy's always good, right? So... Extra drama's good. No negatives to that. Let's do it. Let's do it, let's do it, let's do it. I wonder who his friend's going to be. Is it going to be one of the military guys, maybe? Oh, this guy looks like an accountant. Quarterly business magazine. Governmental issues take me all over Revachol, as you can see. Governmental? An old photo of the same apartment dated year 01. Someone's always watching. Expensive men's perfume lingers in the air. I'm guessing that the guy's a man of the night, right? You know what I mean? Juice Bigelow and all that. Party Dragon's silk robe. Drama and electrochem. Buckets of paint on a layer of old newspapers. If Stabilite is insured, progress will naturally follow. Samarin conical hat. In a wider sense, Z is actually my apartment. An exquisite canopy bed made of metal. Transparency has always been our highest priority. Just let me pilfer everything. Dishes soaked up in a pot. An empty ashtray. Flyers for underground parties. Dates for open lectures at a local university.
Officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
The man in business casual removes his cufflinks.
His hands are clean and well manicured. This is a man who knows the importance of appearances.
My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government. I work for the Institute of Price Stabilité on assignment from Sur la Clé.
Okay.
I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good. Super. I am here to assist you in any way possible. Ask me about the hanging.
You sound a bit too eager to do this, buddy, I have to say.
No, first ask an innocuous personal question to get the interview off on the right foot.
Point at the bed. Before we go on, I absolutely have to inquire about this wonderful canopy. before we get to that, tell me where you got this beautiful silk robe from. Show him the Samarin hat. We'll get to that right after you tell me the story behind this black Samarin hat. Hello, Mr. Vildra. Let's get started. Where did you get this beautiful silk robe from?
Oh, we got it from an atelier in the East Delta Commerce Center. Personally, I think it's a little culturally insensitive, but the material is great. Sadly, the shop is now out of business. That's really all I can tell you about it.
He forms a little rooftop with his fingers. Cold air sweeps in from the balcony.
The lieutenant takes out his notebook and nods to you to proceed.
You actually witnessed the lynching? What's an official like you doing in Martinez? Can you tell me about your friend? So, straight to the point, you witnessed the lynching.
I'm sorry to say I did, officer.
The man gives a solemn nod. So if this guy works for the coalition, he's going to have not a motive, he's going to have a bias, right? Turn to the lieutenant. This is just the break that we've been looking for. Is it because you did it, Mr. Vildra? Start from the beginning, if you don't mind.
Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night. It was so surreal to me, like in a play.
He holds out his hands and blossoms his fingers, like a drama teacher setting the scene.
What do you mean, like in a play?
It was just so strange. I could barely comprehend what was happening.
Be specific.
I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. And then I saw all the surrounding windows go dead, one by one. That's when I understood. I should not be seeing this.
Yeah, witnesses are in just as much danger as a victim, right?
Sounds like the victim was unconscious, or at least incapacitated.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Who were they? Can you describe them?
I couldn't see their faces well, and there were quite a few of them. But they were very loud and very Martinez.
He pauses, looking for the right wording.
Let's just say that the laboring classes can get rather expressive with their profanities.
I really don't like this guy. How many of them were there?
I couldn't tell you exactly. Less than 10. Maybe 8?
He's being so vague, he just needs a slap. What happened next?
I went back inside.
Were you able to see anything from inside?
Officer, the yard was pitch black. There was nothing to see, but I could still hear their voices. They were threatening to kill that poor man.
Men, women?
All men, I presume. But again, I couldn't see very clearly.
Oh, dude. Were they all... What ethnicity were
I
they?
believe they were mostly white, though I believe I saw 2 Aeropagites among them. And I am quite certain that one spoke with a Mesk accent.
What happened next? Something vague, I imagine.
Well, that's the strangest part, officer. Nothing happened. It was oddly quiet for a public lynching.
What do you mean nothing happened?
Eventually, their shouts died down, and that was all. There were no gunshots, no celebratory shouts, no anything.
Why didn't you call us?
You're right, of course. That is what one is supposed to do in such circumstances. I was simply in shock.
Oh, with all due respect, mate, fuck off. You were simply in shock.
I'm afraid I don't have anything else to add.
About what time was all this happening, approximately?
All I can say is that it was late.
So let me get this straight. You didn't actually witness the hanging itself, did you?
No, I didn't see the corpse until the following day.
Well, what a waste of bloody time.
I'm sorry I couldn't be of more assistance.
Can we just, like, Sparta kick him through that window, please? What are you doing here?
The coalition is only looking out for the price stability. Inflation is a killer, like a heart disease blocking the normal circulation of the economy. It must be controlled.
So he's involved in all this in some
The
way.
economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires international oversight.
What is this international community? What is the price stability? What are you doing here specifically?
Well, I'm renovating it. It is an interesting project. The building used to be a 12-story skyscraper before the cannons took the top 4 stories off. This, of course, happened when the coalition forces landed here. You could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused when we arrived here.
So you're an annoying bureaucrat.
Yes, as I said before, I am a commissioner from Sur-la-Clé working for the Institute of Price Stabilité. This is one of the main projects of the Moral Intern.
What is this international community?
La Communauté Internationale is what Revacholians colloquially call the coalition. In other words, the nations that stopped the disaster of the revolution.
What is the price stability?
It is the most important thing.
Yeah, that clears everything up.
It's the central goal of any sound monetary policy. Maintaining the price stability is essential to maintaining high levels of economic activity, which is essential for maintaining high levels of employment, which is essential for maintaining the social stability.
Basically, it makes sure the price of bread doesn't change.
Which this strike is interfering with.
Précisément. Too much inflation, bread becomes too expensive. Too much deflation, it becomes too cheap for bakers to produce. That's why the Institute of Price Stabilité works to keep inflation just below 2%.
2% of what?
But not too far below, no. Too below is also bad. Below, but close to 2%.
God, you are doing my head in,
The
mate.
coalition believes in the importance of informing the public about the benefits of the price stability. Transparency is one of our principles. Would you like an informational pamphlet?
No.
A sound monetary policy is essential for addressing uncertainty. Stability is the raison d'être of the moral intern. It's the reason why I identify as a moralist.
Oh no. He identifies as us.
But oh, I don't have my leaflets on me today. That's too bad. You can always call our information line. Making information available is part of the moral intern's commitment to transparency.
I don't know if this counts as being a moralist, right? Because what he's kind of talking about is maintaining the status quo, right? Maintaining a balance. But he's, you know, like we were talking about in the previous episodes about the kind of the incremental change. What this guy's talking about is just maintenance, right? I don't like sentences like that. I feel like that's a little clumsy. It's the reason why I identify as a moralist. That just feels a bit too declarative. Like I don't think anyone would ever say that. Never mind. I've heard about this moral intern before, but I want to know more. Unfortunately, I'm going to ask him all these questions.
It's the International Organization for Moralists, hence Moralist International. The Institute of Price Stability is just one of its many mind babies, as is the coalition.
When I said I was a thrall to foreign interests, what I should have said is that I'm a moral intern, bitch. Oh, so we're actually working for the moral intern. That doesn't seem so bad. Yeah, I guess it's not so bad. It is and it isn't.
There are more nefarious powers to work for than the moral intern.
So you're a moralist.
But of course.
And am I?
Well, do you value freedom? Do you believe in a normal, stable world governed by democratic values?
Lieutenant, are you a moralist? But what is a normal, stable world? Martinez doesn't seem very normal or stable to me. Yeah. Hmm. I mean, the guy's just such... He feels very politician, right? If he just never gives any direct answers, inflates his own opinion a bit. Very indirect. Like a kind of toxic affluence to him. This is why it's making me kind of resent the fact that I've been, you know, when we've been talking about the political view stuff, I've been kind of seemingly leaning towards a more moralist view of the world. But, you know, just like all the other political points of view, they all have their sycophants, right? Whether that's someone more fascist, someone more communist, someone more moralist, they all have the people who are like the bad embodiment of that kind of political leaning, right? Yeah, this place doesn't seem... I don't know. It isn't, right? Post-war and everything. What about you, Kimmy?
Me?
You've managed to catch the lieutenant off guard, but only for a moment. He quickly recomposes himself.
I'm a lieutenant of the RCM, dedicated to maintaining law and order in Revachol.
That means moralist.
A very moralist answer.
The man nods.
The lieutenant is practiced in the art of putting on a show for one's superiors.
What is a normal, stable world, buddy?
The Occident is part of the normal world. Oranje, sur la clé.
But Martinez isn't.
Martinez? No. Martinez is something else.
What about the rest of Revachol?
Revachol is generally difficult. It's led by an interim government, which means it hasn't yet achieved full democracy. But they are working towards it. You're all doing very well here.
Oh,
relatively speaking.
Gives you an approving nod. This guy's patronizing. I don't think I'm a moralist. Moralism sounds incredibly boring. I want more action. Moralism is the idea of ideology of foreign occupiers. Revachol must be governed by Revacholians. Democracy is a meaningless sham as long as the working class is under the boot heel of capital. It's like every time I'm talking to people, I'm choosing option D, none of the above. Is that moralism? I mean, the thing that I always like about what they're describing as moralism here, it lacks a lot of ego. Do you know what I mean? I think part of the urgency of some of the other of certain political views is the idea that you want to see them change in your lifetime, which means you kind of want to be able to feel the benefits of them. Whereas really, and that's a bit egotistical, right? Like, I want to affect change that I'll be able to see and then take credit for, or do you know what I mean? Whereas the idea that you might be affecting change that you will not get to see in your lifetime, there's like it's not being selfless, but yeah, there's that element to it, right? It's about the greater good in a way then. But the way this guy is making it sound is that he already has all the answers. Yeah, I think it should be governed by the people here, though.
Of course, the detective's personal views do not represent the views of the RCM.
Shut up, Kimmy.
Your full autonomy is important,
Yeah.
I agree. But it's an ongoing process. Nothing happens overnight.
Yeah.
Now, enough of this delightful political interlude. Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
What about Sir Leclerc?
What's there to say? Sur-la-Clé is a modern, urbanized country that measures very high on the Human Development and Freedom Index. Mostly, though, it's known as the executive heart of EPIS.
I guess that could be the main criticism of this kind of moralist structure that he's talking about. Like, he's talking about this index here. Is that this kind of big order, that this big kind of overarching ideology that's kind of in control of everything and is implementing these incremental changes. What if that is wrong? I guess that would be the more radical view. What if the entire system is wrong? I guess would be the problem that you could have with it, right? You know, I guess we're seeing that in the capitalist world that we're living in a business sense, you know, in terms of certain companies just get so big and big and big, right, that they just essentially become their own kind of governing body.
Moreover, it is a great sponsor of less emerged countries. Revachol is only one of its many darlings whose progress it supports and cherishes.
What makes Revachol Sir Clef's darling? Yeah, that's nice of them.
Oh, yes. Sur la Clé is mega benevolent to its darlings.
What about Oranje?
Oranje is an exemplary nation who, as a core member of APIS, contributes 28% of our annual budget. Next to Sur la Clé, Oranje is probably the most prominent member of the international community.
Okay, but besides that, what is Oranje?
Oranje's economy is one of the most advanced in the world. It has successfully transitioned from heavy industry to advanced services and generally acts as an engine for sustainable change in the international community.
Can you just talk straight, buddy?
About what?
About Oranje. Just tell me what it's like.
Oh, it's very urban and very well organized. Their streets are clean, their horse cars run on time, the people are polite and efficient. Like I said, they are an example for less emerged nations to follow.
Right, let's move on.
Whatever you wish, officer.
Can you tell me about Mr. Gigolo?
Ah, my friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from Kedra, and life has not been easy for him. But he understands the importance of education. He has taken his future into his own hands, and that's all that matters.
Kedra?
Kedra is a candidate member of APIS.
A country?
But, between you and me, their potential membership is a more contentious issue.
What does that mean?
That it's never going to happen. They entered negotiations in 21, and it's been pending ever since.
Well, that doesn't tell me anything about Kedra itself. Is it warm there, cold, something in between? What's this EPIS thing?
EPIS is a very special program developed by the Moral Intern to support certain Occidental nations. It began as a unified system of weights and measures, which proved to be a wild success. Nothing but kilograms and centimeters as far as the eye can see. It was such a wild success that we expanded it into an economic union for the processing of steel. Another success. And between you and me, the Moral Intern feels emboldened by this success. Emboldened to take EPIS to the next level.
This guy's making me miss Measurehead. Yeah, what does it stand for?
Why, it stands for progress and stability, like the Moral Intern as a whole.
The letters.
It's been such a wild, extraordinary success thus far. We are very excited to take it to the next level. A supranational political alliance. The United States of Occident.
Is it going to be like this place here?
You mean Revachol? No, it's going to have transparent democracy.
Is Revachol going to be a part of it?
It's one day going to be a candidate member of EPIS, sure.
Didn't you say that candidate members never become real members?
No, candidate members do become members. Why do we even have the whole system in place if they don't? It just takes time. Time and evaluation.
Lost in bureaucracy.
But we were talking about my friend here, not politics.
This is the most Kafka-esque conversation we've had, right? This is like pure Kafka, this guy. Like, everything just leads you in circles. The place where you end is like you end up more confused than where you were at the beginning. You never get anywhere. Yeah, this is like a pure Kafka dickhead right here. He's like, this is an embodiment of Kafka-esque. How did you guys become friends?
How did any of us become friends? Bad things happening on the Insulindian Isola? Oil platforms ablaze in the night? Civil wars lasting for years? Finally, the international community is forced to step in.
What are you talking about, dude?
Au contraire, it's how millions of people end up where they are, meeting the people they meet. It's how I came here, and my friend too.
Oh, who is he?
Sorry, who?
God. The smoker.
But I told you, officer, he's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Education is the foundation of our future, especially the arts. It is a cornerstone.
What's his
officer.
name?
You have to understand. I can't give you his personal information. I'm sure you have your own methods and databases, right?
So all you can tell me is
Please
that
don't put me
he
in.
studies
He's
the
deeply
arts.
enmeshed in the study of the fine arts.
Which
Yes.
ones?
He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. Perhaps graphic design, printmaking, who knows? The world is open wide for a talented youth like him.
What are you doing here?
I'm just enjoying the view.
The man smiles, nodding to the window. It's pitch black out there, mate,
Listen,
he says, raising his hand.
The baby is crying in the neighboring apartment.
Yeah, baby's crying.
no, listen. The Insulindian Bay.
I was asking about your friend.
My friend comes and goes. I'm sure you'll see him around. He's a busy bee.
Let's talk about something else.
I'm all ears, officer.
Got no checks in that.
A moment, officer. Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave.
Why not?
It's against diplomatic best practices for an official in my position to be discussing murders with local militiamen.
He pauses.
And I'm pressed for time. After you leave, I should be leaving as well.
I'll just have a look around this apartment.
Sure, go ahead. It's a beautiful space. Let me know if you have any further questions.
Kimmy, can we just kill him and put him in the fridge? We just put him in the fridge, Kimmy. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. We look seductive. My oh my. There's nothing else in here.
Was there anything else?
I've got all I
Of course.
need.
I'm glad.
Right, I never want to talk to you again unless I'm investigating your murder. And then I'll, you know, pretend I'm talking to you. Do you need a word, Kimmy? No? Right, I'm going to take you back, Kimmy. I hope I don't have to pay to sneak out without you. Where's split a kilo? Yeah. Get speed from Kuno's apartment. Take down Kuno's dad. Flat number 12 in the Cape Side Apartments building. Yeah, let's try this. That was the worst human being we've spoke to in this entire game. Well, maybe. Let's do a quick save. Which one's apartment 12?
A shabby door hangs oddly on its hinges, secured to the doorframe with a safety chain. An unpaid energy bill is attached, threatening to cut off the electricity. It's addressed to Mr. Uno Doroita.
It's where Kuno's dad lives.
And the place comes with 3 months' worth of utility bills.
Knock lightly.
No response. The apartment numbers have fallen off the door, leaving the panel with a sticky 1 shaped shadow and a marker drawn 2. You'll need to equip the chain cutters to enter. Snip right through the metal.
Yeah, that's not going to annoy him.
A shabby door hangs oddly on its hinges, secured to the doorframe with a safety chain. An unpaid energy bill is attached.
Nervous about
threatening
this.
to cut off the electricity. It's addressed to Mr. Uno Doroita. Snip. The cutter goes through them like dead leaves. The links fall to the ground on the other side of the door.
I know there's no stopping you, but let's at least make this quick.
He looks worried. Maybe we should do this without Kimmy. Maybe, yeah. We're here, let's go.
Master Investigator, you just can't keep yourself away from locked and hidden places, can you?
What do you mean?
Nothing, nothing. You're right. Get in there. Deep. Invade every personal space. Break every lock.
I'm just browsing.
Yes, that's what it is. A quick peek here. A short glance there. It's all quite delectable.
The Jamrock Shuffle. By now it's clear you like to look inside containers. You like to open doors and see what's behind them. Maybe secrets. Maybe more juicy containers, let's be honest. You like all containers. Trash cans, utensil trays, manholes, coat pockets, secret containers left behind by the Philippine kings that hold forbidden relics. Okay, you haven't come across one of those yet, but one day. Wait, is that why you're so hell-bent on opening containers? Do you think you'll find the Holy Scepter and the Orb de Montagne? Okay, bonus to savoir-faire might be good. Yeah, let's unlock this. We've got 2 points. Let's do the Jamrock Shuffle. Baby. Alright. Let's walk, let's chill. Glossy erotica covers the wall, wrinkled from moisture. Sure.
A phone book lies open on the table, covering a stack of utility bills. Right next to it, in plain sight, sits a small bottle of amphetamine, conveniently equipped with a straw.
We found the drugs, Lieutenant.
Good. Confiscate it.
The minuscule amount of amphetamine doesn't interest the lieutenant in the slightest. He listens instead to something in the other room.
Let's take it.
You pocket the bottle as if it were the most natural thing in the world.
Do we confront his dad? How convenient. Motrix, Psyche. Okay. Someone has equipped this tiny bottle of amphetamines with a straw. Lorryman's speed on the go. +1 to all Motrix. Interesting. Do we dare meet Kuno's dad? Air stinks with something sour. Thank you.
A bundle of clothes heaped on the bed. A stained parka. Some towels and a duvet. Some socks even. In the dark, it looks like a nest.
Look at the pile of clothes, Lieutenant.
Mm-hmm.
He's asleep under there, right?
Something underneath there is breathing. It's not too late. No one's going to blame you for backing out. You don't have to do this. Just get out.
What are we going to benefit from this? This is probably a bad idea, isn't it? I'm curious, though.
Your hand touches a greasy duvet covered in cigarette burns and ketchup stains. You hear a growl. There is something alive underneath it.
Kid out. Pull it
You
off!
see a 60-year-old, fat, red-headed man passed out from large amounts of alcohol. And God knows what else. The smell of shit rises from his mouth. You don't have to take him down. He's already down.
What's up with him, Kim?
I'm afraid it is. Look, it moves.
He points to a fleshy lump sticking out from either end of the blanket. The limb seems to be twitching from time to time.
And look, the other foot is camouflaged by a striped sock bearing the name Maxtor on the sole. 3 toes are poking out of a hole. A groan rises from the man's throat, dry like a death rattle. He's trying to say something in his sleep.
So this is Kuno's dad.
Well, judging by the color of his hair, I would say yes, it is.
The lieutenant's right. The man's unwashed hair bears a familiar ginger tone. Even the hair on his chest is coppery. The light from the window falls into his half-open eyes.
This isn't what I was expecting.
I think he's still quite bad. I mean, what he has come to.
The lieutenant tilts his head.
This man won't be feeding his family anytime soon. Not that he was, but at least he won't be beating his son.
A pair of half-open bug eyes is staring back at you from the dark, empty, and frozen. It's clear that the person behind them is not awake.
What happened to his eyes?
Can't you tell? It happens to exceptionally committed substance abusers. They fall asleep with their eyelids still open. Not a pretty sight.
Yeah, it's pretty serious damage, dude. Suddenly the man starts growling. 3 words manage to escape his mouth, along with a strong stench of alcohol.
Look, he's trying to communicate.
Maybe we should help him?
What is there to do? We could turn him on his side so he doesn't choke on his own vomit, but he's already on his side. We could take him to Remedy or Saint-Baptiste, but he doesn't have money for medical services. The almshouse would turn him down. They don't do charity for people who are trying to kill themselves. Besides, he'll be dead in a few.
The lieutenant stops, listening to him.
The pile of blankets grunts miserably.
Have I got any? I don't think I've got any clothes that benefit this. Have we? Yes. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
The aging alcoholic is still there, breathing. The air in the room is stale.
I don't want to antagonize him. Come on, dude, 83.
The man groans once again, but his tongue keeps failing him. It's impossible to make out the syllables. A hand emerges from the blankets, trying to gesticulate something. And then it dawns upon you, clear and surreal. Pigs, he says. He's trying to call you pigs.
What did you just say?
His hand falls back on the bed, limp and defeated. A loud snore escapes his mouth. He's asleep again.
At least he got to say his piece.
Took your amphetamine, old man.
Silence. Only heat emanates from the sleeping body.
Thought he might have said something more poignant than that, but Kuno de Reuter is the name on unfinished homework. Let's get our detective hat back on. Okay, that's that then. Right, so I guess we can drop Kimmy off at the Whirling in Rags, and then we can try and go and see what the nightlife is like without Kimmy, right? Need to just get rid of him for a minute. The kids are still here. So who's out and about at night? Anyone? The guys? I don't think those guys will be here anymore. I hope I don't have to pay for this just to get rid of Kim. Why can't we sing karaoke yet? I know this is going to be locked. I just want to try and get rid of Kim. And how do we get upstairs?
Yes?
Oh. How did... Go to bed, Kim. Cramping my style, Kim. Yeah, sneak out after he's got to sleep. I'm trying. So we're going to have to pay for the room just to get rid of Kimmy.
Can I help you?
About
Got the
my
20
bill.
real?
Do I have to pay you again?
The breath catches in his chest. The light in his eyes snuffs out all at once. After a moment, he speaks.
Do you have money tonight?
Yes.
Then you really don't need a free room, do you?
He shakes his head and stops as a strange, new, cruel light rekindles in his features. Sorry, I should have lied. Damn it.
Here comes a layup, sire. Fall not for it.
But you know what? You're in luck, because you don't have to ever pay me again.
That's more like it, Gart. One free room, please.
I'm sorry, I think you misunderstand. Let me explain. I didn't say I'd give you a free room. I just said you don't have to pay me. You don't have to give me any money at all. If you want a room, yes, you'll need to pay me, but you don't have to just give me money. Giving me money for a room is your choice.
It's not a choice. I've got nowhere else to go.
You want a free place to sleep? Fine. You've already unlocked your new room. The trash container outside is ready and waiting.
The lieutenant is painfully silent. This was your responsibility. I cannot help you now. I am sorry. A new dimension of reality will open. A portal is this bed of waste. Sleep there and awaken elsewhere. It is not clear. All that is known is sleep in the trash and there is no coming back.
That's so much money, dude. I just want Kimmy to go to bed.
That wasn't so hard, was it? The room...
Shut up. Right, Kimmy, you go to bed, and I'll go out and be a man of the night. See you in the morning, kid. Right. Let's have some fun. Now, Clash U is on the roof. I don't know how we get there.
The door is closed. This door can only be opened with still nothing.
How do we get to the roof then? How do we get to the roof? Was there a stairwell out here that I just didn't see? Let's go have a nighttime explore then, guys. A gust of briny wind washes over you. She's not up there anymore anyway. How do we get up there? Alright, what I think I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna leave this episode here and we'll have our own little nighttime episode, guys. I think that should be fun. I don't know what we can really do now, especially if we've got no money. Can I sing karaoke?
Can I help you?
Yeah.
Another thing. Great. I love those.
Never mind.
Yes.
What about this door again? I've forgotten what this door is about.
You see a heavy steel door. The door does not.
Damn it. Stealing from your kitchen, Gart. Right, let's just head outside and finish there. Okay. So we spoke to the annoying bureaucrat. We saw what kind of state Kuno's dad is in. Kind of sad, really. He's just the son of a drug addict, I guess. We've got two skill points to use. And we're going to go and explore around at night, see what's different around here during the night. So we'll end that episode there, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. Leave me a like if you did. Just remember, everybody, never trust an on crate. I'll see you back in Revachol.